Welcome to today's CleanCast. Our topic today is going to be hiring versus recruiting. And some of you may be thinking there's no difference, but there is. There's a big difference. And we're going to just touch on it in this CleanCast. It's common in the service industries like fast food, facility services, to look at the positions that we recruit for or that we hire for to be ones of high turnover, and thinking then that because of that they're not going to stay anyway. So why do we want to spend a lot of time on, trying to find the right one and trying to do an orientation and trying to spend a lot of time in the interview? To give you an example, a few years back I had an opportunity to visit with a restaurant mogul who had over 300 fast food restaurants under his jurisdiction, so to speak. 300 of them in a large metropolitan city. And we were talking about turnover rates, and he told me that his average employee in his fast food in 300 locations stayed 8 days. 8 days. Now, I don't know how many were working at each of these locations, but they were turning over in a hurry. He needed to talk about recruiting versus hiring. But anyway, if you have an attitude that people are going to be leaving anyway, so why spend a lot of time in the process of bringing them in, recruiting them, interviewing them, doing an orientation and proper training and things that keep people, then you know what? They're going to leave because they will sense that. They sense that if you're looking at it in a way that is just a temporary thing, then that's the way they're going to look at it. And we need to change. And I know every time I go to a convention or a conference, I hear the thing about, boy, employees just aren't what they used to be. People just, boy, the help is really something. And there's no question there are some challenges with the help today. But I submit to you that there are sometimes some challenges with the employers today in the way that they view this whole issue. So, let me ask you, do you show a clear career opportunity when you interview, or are you just, well, I need a restroom cleaner out in ABC building. That looks good. Get him out there, get her out there, and get it started. Or, how a prospective or current employee views their job will mirror how we view their job. Let me say that again. How a prospective employee views the job that they're getting ready to go on mirrors how we view the job they're getting ready to go on. Make sense? They sense our attitude about employment and employees. So let me suggest that you start talking about recruiting versus hiring. And what's the difference? Let me give you a definition of the two. Hiring is the attempt to fill vacancies by whatever means possible. An application on the side of the desk over here. And you call them up. You call 3 of them up. The first 2 don't answer. The third one answers. Boy, they want the job. And they show up at 5:30 for the job, and boy, they look a mess, and all you can say is, I thought they sounded taller on the, they sounded better on the phone, they sounded taller on the phone, and you say, my goodness, what have I got here? So that's really hiring. Recruiting is a systematic process of locating, screening, hiring, and training potential great service employees. Potential great quality service employee. You see the difference? Hiring is only one part of the process. Recruiting is having a systematic process of where do you find them, how do you screen them, how do you interview them, what's the proper interviewing program, how do you do an orientation process, how do you do a training process, how do you do an engaging process to make sure they stay and want to stay. That's a little different than just hiring somebody that you picked up the application off the side of the desk. So, you want to make sure that you bring on the best people. But we need to change our attitude. We need to make sure that people understand there is an opportunity. Now here, maybe you're hiring only part-time people. But someplace in your organization at some point you need full-time people. Someplace. And maybe, just maybe, if you do the process right, you'll have a part-timer that you'll say, man, I want to see if I can recruit them away from their full-time job and get them to take this position that I may have open. And that's important. That's part of that whole systematic recruiting process. We want to recruit people. We need to recruit people who see that there is a career available in this industry. So remember, as I said earlier, if you view the process as a pain, if you view this hiring and recruiting process as a pain that they'll leave anyway, maybe let me suggest to you, maybe you just need to change your view of the process. No question, you're going to have some people that are just not going to be good employees. But that doesn't excuse us from being the best employer in the industry in your market. Next week, we're going to talk about more employee endearment ideas, ways to get your people to stay with you. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.